The distress call, the peaceful farming colony of New Eden, sits on the edge of known space. The blue-skinned Altari people have lived here for 3 generations, growing crystal fruits that glow in the dark. Their leader, Elder Kira, watches this sunset from her tower when the sky suddenly fills with dark ships. The Vex Empire has arrived. These gray-skinned warriors with red eyes have conquered 12 worlds this year alone. Their ships are massive and black, shaped like giant spears. The Vex commander, General Drac, demands surrender within 1 hour. Elder Kira knows her people cannot fight. The Altari are farmers and teachers, not soldiers. Their small defense fleet has only 3 ships, while the Vex have brought 50 warships. The crystal cities below hold 2 million innocent lives. In desperation, Kira activates the old emergency beacon. Years ago, when the Altari first joined the Galactic Council, they were given this device. It was meant to call for help from the mysterious Deathworld fleet humans from a planet called Earth. Most aliens think humans are just myths. Stories say they come from a world so dangerous that everything tries to kill them. Itali's claim humans are nearly impossible to destroy, that they turn anger into strength, and that they never abandon their friends. Kira has always hoped these stories were true. The beacon sends its message across space. This is New Eden Colony. We are under attack by the Vex Empire. Our children are in danger. Please help us. We cannot fight alone. On Earth's military station Titan base, Admiral Stone receives the signal. He is a tall man with gray hair and scars on his hands from old battles. His eyes go cold when he reads about the attack on innocent farmers. How many ships can we deploy? He asks his aide, Captain Brooks. The 3rd Fleet is ready, sir. 47 heavy cruisers, 12 destroyers, and the flagship Vengeance. All crewed by volunteers who've been spoiling for a fight. Admiral Stone studies the tactical display. New Eden is 6 days away at maximum speed. The Vex will expect easy victory against helpless farmers. They have no idea what's coming for them. Signal the fleet, Stone orders. We're going to show these Vex bastards why you don't mess with our friends. And Brooks? Yes, sir? Tell the crews to prepare for full combat deployment. No prisoners, no mercy. These aliens want to see Deathworlders? We'll give them exactly what they asked for. The human fleet launches immediately. 60 ships filled. With humanity's finest warriors accelerate toward New Eden. Each vessel carries soldiers who grew up fighting gravity, weather, predators, and each other. They've turned survival into an art form. Meanwhile, on New Eden, the Vex have begun their assault. Energy beams destroy the outer settlements. Altari families flee toward the crystal caves for shelter. General Drac laughs as his forces advance unopposed. These weaklings will make excellent slaves, he tells his officers. Their world will provide resources for our empire. Elder Kira watches her people suffer and prays the humans will arrive in time. She doesn't know that Admiral Stone has already ordered his engineers to push the engines beyond safe limits. The human fleet races through space like an arrow of vengeance. In their wake, they leave distorted space-time and the promise of retribution. The Deathworld fleet is coming, and they're bringing all the fury of Earth with them. General Drac's forces land on New Eden like a plague of metal locusts. The Vex soldiers march through the crystal farms, their heavy boots crushing the glowing fruits that took years to grow. Smoke rises from burning settlements as families hide in underground shelters. The Altari defense ships try to fight back, but their weapons barely scratch the Vex armor. Within hours, all 3 vessels are destroyed. Captain Lorne, the colony's military leader, sends his final message before his ship explodes. We fought with honor. Protect the children. In the crystal caves beneath the capital city, 2 million Altari huddle in fear. The caves stretch for miles underground, carved by their ancestors as emergency shelters. Families share food and water while parents tell stories to calm frightened children. Elder Kira moves between the groups, offering comfort despite her own terror. She still carries the emergency beacon, though no reply has come. Perhaps the humans were just stories after all. Above ground, General Drac establishes his command center in the governor's palace. The Vex commander is pleased with the easy conquest. His red eyes gleam as he reviews reports from his officers. Resistance is minimal, reports Colonel Deck. The aliens are hiding underground like rats. Should we use gas to force them out? Not yet, Drac replies. Let them suffer a few days. First, fear makes slaves more obedient. Begin harvesting their technology and resources. I want this world stripped clean. The Vex begin their systematic destruction. They tear apart the crystal power plants, seeking the energy cores. They ransack libraries and laboratories, stealing centuries of Altari knowledge. The beautiful blue. Towers that once reached toward the sky are toppled or converted into Vex fortresses. On the fourth day, something changes. The Vex sensors detect an anomaly at the edge of the system. Ships are approaching, but they don't match any known alien design. These vessels are angular, aggressive, built for war rather than exploration. What species builds ships like these? Colonel Deck asks, studying the scanner readings. General Drac examines the data with growing concern. The approaching fleet shows 60 ships, all heavily armed. Their formation is disciplined, professional. These aren't pirates or merchants. They're military vessels with experienced crews. Send a communication, Drac orders. Warn them this world is now Vex territory. They should leave immediately or face destruction. The message is sent, but no reply comes. The unknown fleet continues its approach, maintaining perfect formation. Long-range scans reveal weapon signatures, unlike anything in Vex databases. In the caves below. Elder Kira feels a change in the air. The Altari have always been sensitive to energy fields, and something powerful is approaching their world. She clutches the beacon tighter and whispers a prayer to her ancestors. Young Tim, barely 18 and the colony's best sensor technician, manages to tap into the orbital communication array. His blue fingers work quickly across the controls as he searches for any signal from the approaching ships. Then he finds it. A brief transmission on an old emergency frequency. New Eden Colony. This is Admiral Stone of the human Deathworld fleet. We received your distress call. Hold position and prepare for liberation. The cavalry is coming. Tim's eyes widen in shock and hope. He runs through the caves, shouting the news. The humans are real. They're here. The Deathworlders have come to save us. The word spreads like wildfire through the underground shelters. Children stop crying. Adults dare to hope again. The legendary humans from the Death Planet have answered their call for help above. General Drac grows increasingly nervous as the alien fleet draws closer. His sensors now detect massive energy signatures from their weapon systems. These ships carry enough firepower to level continents. Sir, Colonel Deck reports with worry in his voice. Long-range analysis suggests these vessels are designed for heavy combat. Their armor plating is 3 times thicker than ours. And their formation, it's like nothing we've encountered. Drac's red eyes narrow. In all his campaigns, no enemy has ever dared challenge the Vex Empire so boldly. His 50 ships have conquered worlds with 10 times their numbers. But something about these approaching vessels makes his warrior instincts scream warnings. Prepare all weapons, he commands. If these fools want to fight, we'll give them one they won't survive. Send word to Fleet Command. We may need reinforcements. The stage is set for collision. The Vex Empire, brutal conquerors of worlds, face an unknown enemy racing toward them with obvious hostile intent. Neither side knows that they're about to witness something that will become legend across the galaxy. The humans are almost in range, and they're not coming to negotiate. Asterisk. Admiral Stone stands on the bridge of the flagship Vengeance, watching the tactical display as his fleet enters the new Eden system. The Vex ships form a defensive wall around the planet, their black hulls bristling with weapons. 50 enemy vessels against his 60 good odds for humans. Admiral, Captain Brooks reports, we're receiving a transmission from the Vex commander. Put it through. General Drax's image appears on the screen, his gray skin and red eyes radiating arrogance. Unknown vessels, you have entered Vex territory. I am General Drax of the Imperial Fleet. Withdraw immediately or face annihilation. Stone studies the alien commander with cold eyes. He's seen too many bullies in his career, and this one has the look of someone who enjoys hurting the innocent. General Drax, this is Admiral Stone of the Human Defense Fleet. You have attacked civilians. Under our protection, you will withdraw your forces immediately and face justice for your crimes. Drax laughs, showing sharp teeth. Humans? The mythical Deathworlders? I thought you were just stories told by weak species. You should have stayed hidden, little monkey. Now you'll burn with these crystal farmers. The transmission ends. Stone's expression doesn't change, but every human on the bridge feels the temperature drop. Captain Brooks has served under the Admiral for 8 years and recognizes the signs. Someone just made the worst mistake of their very short remaining life. All ships, Stone announces over the fleet channel. Battle stations. Remember what these bastards did to innocent families. Show them why humans don't make empty threats. The human fleet shifts formation with mechanical precision. The angular ships spread into attack formation, their weapon ports opening like hungry mouths. Each vessel carries enough firepower to crack planets, operated by crews who've trained their entire lives for moments like this. General Drax watches the human formation with growing unease. These ships move with perfect coordination, like a single organism. His scanners detect energy readings that make no sense. How can vessels that size carry such massive weapons? Colonel Deck, begin the attack. Destroy these fools quickly. Vex fleet opens fire first. Crimson energy beams lance through space, striking the human ships. But instead of explosions, the beams splash harmlessly against energy shields that flare bright blue and hold firm. Impossible, Drax whispers. Our weapons can punch through moon-sized asteroids. Then the humans return fire. The space between fleets erupts in streams of superheated plasma and kinetic projectiles. Human weapons tear through Vex shields like paper, punching holes in armor that has never been breached. 3 Vex cruisers explode in the first volley. Evasive action. Drax screams, but it's too late. The human fleet moves like predators, each ship covering another's blind spots. Their weapons track targets with frightening accuracy. Captain Maya Rodriguez pilots the destroyer Fury through the enemy formation, her ship's guns blazing. She grew up in Earth's asteroid mining colonies, where quick reflexes meant survival. Her crew consists of engineers who learned their trade fixing equipment in vacuum, gunners who hunt wild beasts for sport, and Marines who consider warfare a recreational activity. Target that command cruiser, Maya orders. Let's cut the head off this snake. The Fury's main cannon charges for 3 seconds, then releases a beam of concentrated antimatter. The Vex command ship's shields collapse instantly. The beam punches through armor, superstructure, and crew compartments before emerging from the other side. The massive vessel breaks apart in silent explosions. General Drax staggers as his flagship shudders under impossible impacts. Damage reports flood in from all sections. His proud fleet, which has conquered dozens of worlds, is being systematically destroyed by an enemy that seems to laugh at physics. How are they so strong? Colonel Vex shouts over alarms. Because a new voice answers to their communications. We come from a world that's been trying to kill us since we learned to walk. Admiral Stone's image appears on every Vex screen. Behind him, sparks fly from battle damage, but his expression remains calm. You want to know about Deathworlders, General? We're from a planet with weather that can level cities, predators that hunt in packs, and gravity that crushes the weak. We've spent our entire evolution learning how to kill things that are bigger, stronger, and meaner than we are. The human fleet continues its devastating assault. Vex ships explode one by one, their superior numbers meaningless against human tactics and firepower. The invaders who came to enslave farmers are learning a harsh lesson about picking fights with species that consider violence an art form. In the crystal caves below, the Altari feel vibrations through the ground as burning ships crash into their planet's surface. Elder Kira holds her beacon and smiles for the first time in days. The Deathworlders have arrived, and they're keeping their promise. The battle rages for 6 hours. By the end, 43 Vex ships burn in the void, while the human fleet suffers only minor damage. General Drax once mighty. Armada is reduced to 7 crippled vessels, limping behind the planet's largest moon. Admiral Stone watches the tactical display with grim satisfaction. The enemy has learned the first rule of fighting humans: never threaten their friends. But the battle in space is only the beginning. The real work starts now. Captain Brooks, signal the dropships. Begin planetary assault. Aye, Admiral. Marine battalions are ready for deployment. In the crystal caves, the Altari hear the sounds of battle ending above. Young Tim monitors the communication channels and reports to Elder Kira. The human fleet has won, but there are still Vex soldiers on the surface. They're holding positions in our cities. Kira nods grimly. The orbital battle was only half the fight. The Vex ground forces still occupy New Eden settlements, using Altari buildings as shields. The humans will need to root out every invader without destroying what they came to protect. Colonel Jack Miller leads the first wave of dropships toward the planet's surface. A veteran of 3 colonial wars, he's spent 20 years perfecting the art of urban combat. His Marines are hand-picked volunteers, each one trained to fight in environments that would kill most species. Listen up, Marines, Miller announces. Over the comm system, we've got civilians hiding underground and hostiles dug into their cities. Rules of engagement are simple. Any Vex soldier is a legitimate target. Protect the innocents, minimize collateral damage, and remember, these gray bastards were ready to enslave children. The dropships streak through New Eden's atmosphere like falling stars. Vex anti-aircraft guns open fire, but human shields absorb the damage. The transports land in formation around the capital city, disgorging 2,000 Marines empowered. Combat armor. The Vex ground commander, Major Vok, watches the human deployment through periscope scopes. His forces control key positions throughout the city, but these new enemies look unlike anything he's fought before. Their armor is thick and angular, studded with sensors and weapon mounts. All units, prepare for siege warfare, Vok orders. Make them pay for every street. The first human squad advances down the main avenue, their boots echoing off crystal buildings. Sergeant Lisa Park leads from the front, her rifle ready. She grew up hunting mutant bears in the Canadian wasteland, where hesitation meant death. Vex. Soldiers open fire from upper windows. Energy bolts splash against human armor, leaving scorch marks but no penetration. The Marines return fire with weapons that punch through building walls. Contact front, Park shouts. Suppressing fire, advance by squads. The Marines move like clockwork, each soldier covering another's movement. They've drilled these tactics countless times in Earth's urban combat zones. Their weapons are designed for close-quarters battle, with sensors that track enemies through walls. Private Mike Torres kicks down a door and rolls aside as eyed. Vex fire blasts through the opening. His armor's computer highlights 3 enemy positions. In the room beyond, he primes a flashbang grenade and tosses it inside. The explosion blinds and deafens the Vex soldiers. Torres charges through the smoke, his rifle picking targets with mechanical precision. 3 shots, 3 kills. The aliens never knew what hit them. Building by building, street by street, the humans advance. The Vex put up fierce resistance, but their weapons can't penetrate human armor, while human shots punch through Vex. Defenses like they're made of cardboard. Major Vok realizes the battle is lost when his command post comes under attack. Human explosives blow holes in reinforced walls. Smoke grenades blind his sensors. Then armored figures charge through the breach, their weapons spitting death. Surrender. Colonel Miller's voice booms through his suit's speakers. Your fleet is destroyed. Your positions are overrun. Lay down your weapons, and you'll be treated according to galactic law. Vok looks around at his dead soldiers and burning equipment. The humans have taken his stronghold in less than an hour. These Deathworlders fight like the devil himself. I surrender, he says, dropping his weapon. The word spreads quickly through Vex communication channels. Resistance collapses as alien soldiers realize their situation is hopeless. Within 3 hours of landing, the human Marines control every major position on New Eden. In the Crystal Caves, Elder Kira receives word that the surface is secure. Families begin emerging from their underground shelters, blinking in the sunlight. Altari children peek around corners at the human soldiers, whose armor makes them look like metal giants. But when the Marines remove their helmets, the children see human faces, tired, battle-worn, but kind. Sergeant Park kneels down and offers candy from her rations to a frightened Altari girl. The Deathworlders have kept their promise. New Eden is free. 3 days after the battle, Admiral Stone stands in New Eden's rebuilt council chamber. Crystal walls have been repaired, their blue glow restored. Elder Kira sits at the center table while human officers and Altari leaders discuss the future. The Vex prisoners are secured aboard our ships, Captain Brooks reports. General Drack and his surviving officers await transport to the Galactic Justice Court. The foot soldiers will be processed according to interstellar law. Elder Kira nods gratefully. Admiral Stone, how can we ever repay what you've done for us? You saved 2 million lives. Stone's weathered face shows a slight smile. Elder, when someone calls for help, humans answer. That's what civilized people do. We don't expect payment for doing what's right. But the Altari leader has something else on her mind. Admiral, what happens now? The Vex Empire still exists. They'll send more fleets when they learn what happened here. The human commander's expression hardens. That's exactly what we're counting on. Across the galaxy, news of the Vex defeat spreads like wildfire. The mythical humans have revealed themselves as a military force capable of destroying entire fleets. Species that have suffered under Vex occupation begin to whisper about hope. On the Vex homeworld, Emperor Zareth receives reports of the disaster with growing rage. His red eyes burn as he studies tactical data from the battle. 50 ships destroyed by an unknown enemy, thousands of soldiers captured or killed. These ... humans, he snarls. Where did they come from? His intelligence chief, General Korv, accesses the military database. According to captured records, they originate from a planet called Earth. The data suggests an extremely hostile environment, high gravity, violent weather, aggressive predators, a death world, Zareth muses. That explains their military capability. But they've made a fatal mistake by revealing themselves. Prepare the third armada, 500 ships. We'll crush these upstarts and make an example of their precious colony. The Emperor doesn't know that Admiral Stone is counting on exactly this response. On New Eden, human engineers work alongside Altari technicians to install a massive sensor array. The crystalline technology meshes perfectly with Earth's military systems, creating a detection network that can spot incoming ships from 3 systems away. This should give us advance warning when they come back. Chief Engineer Patel explains to Elder Kira. And they will come back. Bullies always do when someone stands up to them. Meanwhile, human diplomats make contact with other species throughout the region. The message is simple. Earth is offering military protection to any world threatened by the Vex Empire. All they have to do is ask for help. The response is overwhelming. Within weeks, 47 different species have requested human protection. Worlds that have lived in fear for generations suddenly see hope. Admiral Stone coordinates the expanding defense network from his new headquarters on New Eden. The Crystal City has become the center of an alliance that spans dozens of systems. Human fleets patrol trade routes, while alien engineers share technology. Sir, Captain Brooks announces, long-range sensors detect a massive Vex fleet approaching. 500 ships, 3 days out. Stone nods calmly. Signal all allied fleets. It's time to show Emperor Zareth what happens when you pick on our friends. The trap is ready. The Vex expect to find one human fleet defending a single world. Instead, they'll face a coordinated force of 60 species, all armed with the best Earth technology, and all united by rage against their former oppressors. When the massive Vex armada drops out of hyperspace, they find themselves surrounded. Human ships emerge from behind moons and asteroids. Allied vessels drop their cloaking fields. The space around New Eden fills with over 2,000 warships, all with weapons locked on target. Emperor Zareth himself leads the fleet aboard his flagship Dominator. His red eyes widen in shock as the tactical display shows the trap closing around him. This is Admiral Stone. The human commander's voice echoes through every Vex ship. Emperor Zareth, you came here to destroy innocent people. Instead, you're going to learn why humans don't tolerate bullies. The battle that follows lasts 18 hours and becomes known as the end of Empire. The Vex fleet is completely destroyed, their emperor captured, their military power broken forever. Species across the galaxy celebrate as news spreads that their oppressors have finally met their match. On New Eden, Elder Kira watches the celebration with tears of joy in her blue eyes. Children play in the crystal gardens while human soldiers share stories with Altari farmers. The Deathworlders didn't just answer one distress call. They've changed the galaxy forever. When bullies met humans, the bullies learned why Earth doesn't produce victims. It produces protectors. The end asterisk.